Okay, I think we're recording here. Welcome once again to the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge with your host, the Cosmic Messenger. That's myself. And I've been on for a video for a while. I think it's fantastic to take long breaks off of all the digital technology we have. And but I thought I was due for a time, so I thought I'd come on here and share with you an amazing video today. We're going to talk about the light body and the 12 stages that you go through in your awakening ascension process. Uh, Also, I just wanted to mention that if it's your first time watching or if you're new to the channel or been here for a while too, you can check out other things that the Cosmic Messenger creates all over different internet sacred portals or sacred sites, right? So I have an album for ascension. These are all ascensioning and awakening and metaphysical tools, right? So I have one on Bandcamp, and that's an album there, and I'm looking to have a companion follow-up that goes with it, almost like a part one and a part two. That one's amazing, hour and a half long, metaphysical ascension, everything. Then we have artwork, which is energy encoded digital cosmic collages. That's on Society 6. And you can type in any of those with the Cosmic Messenger. Then we have this YouTube channel. I have Facebook for my blogging, new activism, energy reports, updated information, articles a lot of the time about what's going on in the realms of the chakras and crystals and all that fun stuff, and the subtle bodies, etc. Yeah, so we got those. And then Instagram, you can use that for photonic key codes and galactic informations. Or, sorry, galactic affirmations. That is continuing with affirmations and taking them galactic. Let's take them to the next level. And photonic key codes come from the photonic light that's coming down onto Earth right now when we're in the photon band between the age of Aquarius and Leo, which we're currently in the age of Aquarius. So that has an impact on how those things go down, right? Awesome. So this is rad to be here with you guys. Super, super fun. We're in the just finishing up the double eclipse portal, which was awesome in the last couple weeks. Hope you're doing rad and fantastic out there. And just remember, for all things that you're going through, awakening, spiritual, metaphysical experiences, hard, intense work, or the beautiful, fun stuff, everything in between. It's all part of the quantum field, and your work is noticed and it's appreciated. Okay? So this is a big, long video, so I'm going to get right to it. What is the light body? And we're going through the 12 stages of the light body. Now, your light body is all of your other subtle bodies, the outer casing of it before you get to your Merkaba. So your Merkaba is your star tetrahedron. That encases everything that we possibly have while we are incarnated. And the light body includes the etheric double, the astral twin, your higher self, essence self, maiden, mother, crone, which includes all the divine masculine, child, teenager, and elder templates. All those subtle bodies, the transpersonal point, all in the causal, they're all mixed into one. And they're housed inside of your light body, right? It's your energetic body. And it's, if you think about it, just before you incarnate, or when the first humans even came down to Earth, they would go through their light body already as a full adult in some cases, and then biomorph, right? Through the light body and then come into a physical existence. Super cool stuff. And everything's energy, and it starts in the spiritual and works down to the physical. So then when you're up there and working on these things and you come down, you're taking those essences first. No spot is more important than the other, especially when you're working with the light body. Everybody comes in with different skill sets and different incarnational experiences. They're all important. Somebody might come in and start at level 4, but they skipped level 1 6 lifetimes ago in the quantum field, right? Or it might have been instilled on a different timeline. So these are the various things that we're working with, right? So when we talk about the light body, I'm going to get right to it. It is your multidimensional self, right? Your energy body. Now, your higher self is dealing on the ethereal planes, right? This is the ethereal blueprint for your etheric body. We're working with primarily, in this case, 12 dimensions. I use them as reference points for you to understand what's going on. Those are the 1 to the 5th or the 12th dimension are all of the physical that we utilize on planet Earth. And but they're all happening simultaneously, no matter what your baseline of operations is. So if you're operating on a 5th dimensional, energy body meets physical, and that is your baseline, and that is how you've chose to incarnate on a certain planet, all the other dimensions mix in. There's infinite amounts of them, but this expansiveness that's going beyond the 3D, 4D realm needs to be massively expanded in order for us to have a better understanding of what we're really working with here. And plus, it's super cool. It's wild, mystical fun, right? Things get interstellar, which is awesome. So, ethereal plane, higher self, and then over here we also have the cosmic plane, and those are more in the 6th to the 11th dimensions, right? Heck, even the 12th. It's all cosmic, right? That's the mental plane, the abstract world of ideas, forms, numbers, sacred geometry, the divine mind, energies from other galaxies coming in, this galactic central sun. The etheric plane, that's the one that we're working with on the 5th dimension. You get in touch with your etheric body, you're doing a huge Pleiadian connection right there. That is the spiritual world, the residency of ascended masters, Ashtar command, and other light beings working in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th dimensions. I would also say the archangels as well too. Then the astral plane, that is how we do our wild traveling when we have dream space, when you have images of yourself being on another planet, or you can pick anything in your mind right now really that you're aware of, and you can stick it into your consciousness, right? So astral plane on the higher levels of the astral plane, because it's a tricky spot, that astral plane. The lower one is where all these distortions lies. That's that reptilian archonic connection, the distortions that are going on Earth right now with all of the toxins that we're spreading around the planet and the misinformation and all that stuff. But the astral plane is also where you do a lot of psychic surgery as well too, so that helps when it comes to energetic, metaphysical, vibrational treatments from a quality practitioner that you resonate with. And then the physical plane, where that's the 3rd dimension as we would know reality right now while we're incarnated, right? This is one lifetime of many. You're working on your light body through a multitude of existences, far beyond the fractilian world that we've come to know here down in our illusionary matrix, which is simultaneously very real, so it's pretty cool. So the first level of the light body, here we go. You had an activation to the first level of the light body. So it's like a light bulb went off. Woo! In your DNA. And DNA is going to be a huge one throughout the entire timeline of your light body. When people talk about the 12 strands of DNA coming back online, you visibly see 2, but you have 12 other energetic strands, and then they multiply by 12 to make 144 avatar codes. So we're igniting these 12 strands, but we're working far beyond them. I'd say our current goal is 12. Our long-term goal is 144. So when somebody has claircognizant up here with your crown, clairvoyant through your eyes, your third eye, you have any of those experiences happen, clairaudient, clairscent through smells, all those different things that we experience, that's your DNA going off and showing you your superpowers. They're just laying dormant, waiting to be activated, but they need your conscious talk from you to your body, right? By the way, I'm wearing some turquoise today. Thought I'd switch it up a little bit. This medallion has been me through many adventures for a very long time. So when your body drops density, so basically you drop in density, right? You're not keeping as much. Then you have all these toxins come out of your body. Star particles start to happen. People have, like here they write like joint aches, muscle aches, headaches, and that's all. It's really just ascension beautifulness. That's your body just purging for a quick bit to come online and be even more robust. But you will have gravitational shifts, and sometimes even like the central heart will have like a different kind of palpitation that you're not normally used to. And this one's far beyond what the medical would show us about. That's your heart making more space for everything else to come in. Take these things very serious, monitor them very well, take care good of your body with good nutrients and everything and lots of energy work. but these gravitational shifts and densities, and you'll feel like you're floating on quantum air. It's pretty awesome. Um, so light body levels are measured by the ability of the cells to metabolize the light, and that's the photonic light coming in that we were talking about earlier. The marker for this new cellular activity is the amount of adenosine. I'm getting it good. Triphosphate, ATP in the cells. So that's a very technical way of saying what's transpiring and taking place. The light comes in, you make the intention, things start to happen. When the light body mutation was activated, a series of DNA encodements, these are those light codes we talk about, lit up and began to give new directives to the cells. One of the first instructions was to tell the cells to recognize light as an energy source, as information, as insights, right? You turn off the sun, we're not going to exist in this form. Light is so important. Okay, the physical form, which we're dealing with primarily in the first level of the light body, which is where a lot of beings start, which is a good way to go. Just work through it one step at a time, right? But this in current quantum accelerated time that we have since 1987, harmonic convergence and on, and the 11-11-12-12, the early 90s, these are sped up times so that you can go through the light body stuff quicker, but these are going to take years. This does not happen overnight in weeks and a couple months. This is serious business. So in physical form, when the old matter has separated brain functioning into the right and left, so they're not operating together at the same time, they're celestially apart. Also, the pineal and pituitary glands are atrophied. They're calcified. They're waiting to be awakened. They're about the size of a pea rather than the size of a walnut. On activation, brain chemistry begins to change and produces synapses. Hopefully I get that word right too. Okay, so second stage of the level, the second level of the light body. All right, things are getting more mystical and cosmic here. So in the second level, the sixth dimensional astro-etheric blueprint. So the blueprint comes from the sixth dimension and then sends it into the fifth. So all of the odd numbers in dimensions are the more physical or manifested attributes of all the different astral planes, right, of the odd numbers. Okay, so the second level begins to be flooded with light, and it begins to release fourth dimensional structures, which are tied into your karmic experiences across all lifetimes. So all these stages, you're going to be working on a mass amount of healing. Changing, upgrading, working, activations. And these are going to be across the board for yourself, for your monad, your oversoul, and all of the timelines, because all the humans are connected. So karmic blueprint comes from everything, all the templates from everything you've ever done. All the lifetimes ever, everything that's been connected. We're going to heal them now. And as a result, as a result, you may feel disorientated and have more bouts of what they call those ascension symptoms. Those are good things to experience. They're helping you change, grow. They're the catalyst for sonic exploration. You may have an inkling that there is something called spirit, prime creator, great spirit. Some people use the word God. All of those forms of the master energy that allows existence to infinitely always be there in your life. So you bring this into your life, and now it's conscious. You're like, spirit's there, it's real. Spirit guides, interesting. So we're going to move forward from this point on, your new baseline. So once you reach these levels or complete any of the 12 stages in any order you choose, they don't go anywhere. They stay unless you really want to dive away and kick them out. It's really, really hard to remove them once you get the ball rolling. So in second level, you're releasing fourth dimensional structures, which begin to change the spin in your geometries of your emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. That is the beginning of your Merkaba spinning in its new axial tonal grid format. And that's a huge component. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. They become the four bodies that you're mainly working with, and then the subtle bodies connect to those, right? And you're going to go through them all, work on them. You're beginning to change rapidly, very rapidly, idly. So your things will speed up as it goes more quantum. That's just how it goes. Consciousness accelerates, healing accelerates, manifestation accelerates. Most of what you're experiencing is strictly still physical at this time, and you may feel very tired. I went through a very long period of time, and it's super common for people to have, sometimes I even feel it now, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours of sleep. On the other end, some people experience very little sleep, but they're feeling rested, whole, and complete. And this is super cool stuff because whatever your body needs, you need to nurture it in that moment. And if somebody's getting less, but they're feeling fully rested, they're taking very good care of themselves. A lot of times, though, it's massive amounts of sleep so your body can heal. All the electromagnetic smog and the mental brainwashing that we grew up with, right, has a huge impact on our being. Okay, third level of the light body. Things get more wild each time we go up the list. In the third level of the light body, your physical senses become outrageously strong. That's the clairsense, clairvoyant, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairaudient, clairsent, clairsentient, and more. These are your superpowers, your psychic abilities, your third eye, all things multidimensional when it comes to like telepathy and intercommunications interdimensionally, all that fun stuff. Odors, which are huge. Smells are massive. You get very distorted information from toxic chemical smells. You get beautiful awakening insights from the plant kingdom, natures and smells. Sometimes people can be walking down the street. You're going for a little cruise, walking away, and you get a big smell. You're like, whoa, I just smelled that person. And you start to receive information from that. Like, that's way cool. Our body is a stellar interstellar messaging device, right? It's galactic on all fronts. Okay, so it's beginning to open up into a biotransducer system. You are exchanging energy with your field with other fields, and they're intermelding. These parallel timelines are all connected, right? And same with the Earth and all of its electrical grid. Super cool stuff. The magnification of the physical senses is the first sign of awakening your body as a biotransducer. So people use the word, you become more sensitive stuff, you become more hyper aware, and a little bit goes a long way. Undifferentiated light from oversoul, that's all the parts of you. When you incarnate with 144 parts. You, yourself on another planet, other beings, your astral body, the list goes on. There's so many versions of you. You might even walked by yourself on the street and didn't even know that was a part of your oversoul. You are one of 144, which is interconnected with all dimensions. And it pours into the fifth dimensional axiotonal lines. Those lines are very Pleiadian, the dolphin pattern reprogramming. Axial tonal lines means the lines that connect all of the different grid work together. Your energy systems with your meridian points, with your chakras, right? Those talk together through axial tonal templates. And from the axial tonal spin point, your 369 rod, third dimension, sixth dimension, ninth dimension. A lot of people's are, hopefully that's in the image there, good, is kind of like a little bit bent off, and it needs to be repurposed and stated so that it's a strong rod, right? Not our fault, but we knew this before we incarnated, that some damage was being done to the human field. And it interfaces on the skin surface. Those are those skin particles that come up. It's the largest organ in your body is your skin, and it breathes and it moves and it gathers information. And the fifth dimensional axial circulatory system begins to form. Your blood starts to change. The encodings of it, how it flows, how it talks to your cells. The axial system then extends into and activates the spin points of every cell of the physical body. 0 point field, the point of perfect stillness, but then everything's operating as it needs to be. Each cell can also do a micro, mini Merkaba field spin on its own. How cool is that? And you got trillions of cells in your body. That's awesome. So you're becoming more aware of the energy systems that are going inside of your body. You're having the skin particles as well too. You're coming into contact with spirit guides, knowing that they're out there. Cosmic information is following you on a regular basis. Then you reach the fourth level of the light body. As you transition into the fourth level of the light body, you begin to go into what we call the mental stages. I did a process for myself. You can do it any way you wish. Every time I had a mental thought that did not need to be there, that was part of drama, ego, separation, attachment, negative programming, intense wordage, I would do a circle in my mind's eye and then exit out, delete, and throw it away. Tens of thousands of times over. I went through my entire home and got rid of all of the toxic brand names. They're going to be gone. I don't want to look at them. And if some of them had to stay around, I didn't want like the big flashy brand name across my clothing or it hanging up on my wall so that I'm staring at it every day. You see these images sometimes more than you even interact with knowing that we have spirit guides. Because the billboards, everything just... And also too, from trauma experiences that we've had in the mental sphere can keep us awake at night. There's all sorts of mental activity that can go wild. The education system and its brainwashing, and that's filling up your subconscious data banks, right? With so much toxic information. So, this begins massive changes in your brain chemistry and electromagnetics of your brain, and both hemispheres start to work in unison, masculine, feminine energies, and the entire spectrum that's in between it links up into the core and melds with your heart. Your medulla oblongata gets activated as well too, and that's where a lot of your karmic imprints lie, right? At this point, if you have regulatory crystals in your etheric body, they may become uncomfortable. You may start having possibly, that's where the headaches, the pressure goes, blurry vision. Those don't last long, but that's like your brain cavities just wanting to expand out a little bit. You'll get like a shock up your spine because the kundalini is now really starting to rise, the energy waves going through all of your chakra systems, right? The hara lines going online too, and you're changing the seats of your intentions. You have crystals in your ears, and they're activated, and you have subtle ones inside of your etheric body as well too. In a lot of cases for people, they don't become uncomfortable. They become even more, it becomes more of a beautiful, soothing experience because you're coming into your full being, right? These crystals keep the lines of light within the fifth dimensional blueprint from making connections like electricities. Your heart begins to open deeper and deeper levels, like chest pains. And that's what I was saying before too. They're not really the chest pains. It's just a moment of it pushing against, your entire lungs to like feel more for your heart because it's setting off all these new instructions in your body. You're taking the distorted electricity currents that you had before and you're inputting new photonic ones. Hemispheres of the brain want to begin to start firing across both hemispheres at the same time. You may literally feel some electrical energy running across your scalp or down your spine. Sometimes it dances over top, right? Your crown, your higher crown, your Alta Major is back here, your soul star, your stellar gateway chakras, galactic cord. You got all these electrical dancing because energy is everywhere and it's in everything. It's the primary ingredient of life force in the universe multiverse. You may have flashes of telepathy or clairvoyance. Just about everybody develops empathy, the ability to feel what others are going through or feel more of what incarnational existence has in its experiences so that you can better understand where other people are coming from, and then you can start to navigate a bit more easier reality. But you want to make sure that you don't take on too much of others. It just gives you a wider scope of knowledge and wisdom. You begin to feel much more connected to things and people. Your emotional centers by this point are getting very deep. You're more comfortable sharing your emotions, crying. Even if you have a moment where you just flip out and get real angry, you're not afraid to share these things, but they come out in a holistic, wholesome way. You begin to get an inkling that there's maybe a purpose for you being here. And that's your divine mission, right? We're all searching for that one. Your divine mission, even if you did nothing but sit there all day and keep yourself healthy, you are broadcasting so many fantastical, beautiful frequencies just to be here on this time in Earth, which is a rare occurrence in the galaxies upon galaxies in this region of the cosmos. Everybody wants to be here, including lots of other creatures from other dimensions, other life forms and humanoids from other planets. They're here, they're watching us, they're cheering us on. They're our friends, we're together. Some of us have met in the oversoul realms, right? It is a wild time. And the fact that we got to incarnate, even when a baby dies, weeks after being born, the soul, see, the physical part of us is like, oh, that's so tragic. And it's intense. Those are real emotions to go through. The soul is like, yeah, I got to experience this for a couple weeks. This is cool. Such a rare sighting, right? This graduation as a whole species that we're going through is just a wild time. Okay, fifth level of the light body. You may have flashes of doing other things. Dream sequencing begins to change. You begin to remember a little more of your dreams and become open to lucid dreaming. That's when psychic surgery comes in at night. You also can get that when you're on getting a treatment with a metaphysical practitioner. But at night, there's so much work that can be done on the body. I've had bouts of it where it's like 4 or 5 hours long, half waking up in sleep. The line over there about having flashes of doing other things, you might want to just pick up and move to somewhere where you're more needed. Maybe you resonate with something. Maybe you resonate with something somewhere else that you'd be like, oh, I'd really like to live there. That resonates with me more. Sometimes your whole world blows up and you're like, whoa, okay, didn't see that coming. Oh, a lot of people I used to hang out with, that's gone. Okay, I'm more drawn to living over here, and now I really want to put myself into service for the planet. At some point, you may feel as you are going crazy. More, you might feel like you're getting multidimensional wild, and you start to realize that there's a whole world of us out there that exist, and yes, there's the mainstream timeline, and as you sort through everything that's going on, there's a massive pile of us sharing all sorts of wild cosmic info all day, every day. And it's a beautiful sighting to behold. You may get a lot of the survival patterning coming out of the mental body. That these are your abundance templates and your survival templates. These are the final stages of getting through the root cause of you feeling strong, secure, grounded, and self-worth is golden. The universe will always provide you everything you need and you'll always be safe, even in the heat of pure, intense attacks. Okay? There's a lot of people right now putting themselves on the front lines, straight out there in public, speaking their mind, speaking truth. And when you stand in your full power, you have the universe at your side. As you also begin to become aware that you contain pictures of reality that are not always yours, but yet it's intermixed. And you begin the mental sorting out. Oh, I see. No, they're not yours because they were falsely and invasively implanted into your mind. So those are the ones, circle, X, delete, gone. And you begin the mental sorting out of the process of who am I as different from those around you. You realize that you are holding the entire picture of the way things are inside of you. Your innerverse creates your outerverse, from parents, siblings, lovers, grandparents, etc., into your energetic field, your aura. And as you become aware that these structures are in your field, you feel very closed in by them. This is the big one to let them go. That's what I was saying. Things blow up. Literally. They have a supernova inside of you. And that's a good thing. Right? You are free of all previous karma if you choose to accept it. Dun, 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 dun. Where was I here? Just one sec. Okay. Haha, so much great information. Thanks for holding tight there. Okay, sixth level of the light body. In the sixth level, you are actively, consciously shifting reality pictures out of your field through your mental visualization processes, right? Some of us work with symbols. You learn them when you're in Reiki and different techniques. You're using your mental sphere and then like Hawaiian shamanism to change the event by redoing the pictures in your head. At this time, spirit is usually putting you into contact with people who are working with the light body system. Whether it's a practitioner, a friend, somebody you connect with deep in a book, watching videos, who knows where that goes. But you will be connected to the light body system. Wow, I happen to already be working on this or didn't realize I was working on this. Shifting reality position, and your thoughts create reality. What you think, you create. Often in the fifth and sixth levels, you have experiences of things not being solid. Things are more movable. It's all particles, right? Everywhere you look. You zoom into something close enough, it's vibrating particles. Nothing is actually as solid as we think it is. It gives us a reference point so we don't crash our head into a wall. But at some point in our evolution, we will be able to walk through those walls. We will be able to time warp, teleportation, bounce around, manifest reality right in front of us. These are amazing times. And you may have flashes of multidimensionality. You have flashes of non-linear thinking and feel if nothing is real. Which is interesting because that can happen for a lot of people. But then in the end, you come back and you're like, wow, it's more hyper real than ever. This can be a real shock to the mental body systems who wants everything to be laid out in nice little straight lines. It's not a straight line. It's an ever-connecting fractal that's dancing and evolving over top of itself with a future that is constantly unwritten. Suddenly you see the whole picture at once. The mental body begins to cognate very differently, right? These are your new neurons shooting off, right? All of the different codes that are going through your cells and into your DNA lines, and they're shifting and they're talking through your nervous system. You may go through a reevaluation of, do I want to be here? Do I want to live? Many beings also experience, I love this. This is so good. I figured it out. Now this is why I came down, right? Because we kind of go blank when we're born. Some children are very cognitive of remembering as the veil is being lifted more. The remembering process is going to continue on. Many changes may occur in your life. New people come into your life who are far more in alignment with you, while others drop away. You and those around you begin to cognate in non-linear ways, and you begin to get flashes of telepathy, different ways to communicate. You're at home, doesn't matter where, by yourself, thinking in your head, I'd really like that person to call me. I wonder how they're doing. Be nice to hear from so-and-so. Or you even just picture their image in their head and they happen to be on a phone. Who knows? In whatever way it comes to you. And then you get a phone call from them, right? It's amazing stuff. We're already doing a lot of this and we don't even realize it. Your brain has screened this out previously, but now the screens are coming down. Put some frankincense on your third eye every day for 6 months. That'll help decalcify it, and those images, those abilities, they're going to come in like waves, but they're always going to go at a speed that is good for you, right? It's not going to come in more than you can handle. Sometimes it's going to push you a little bit extra to make sure you're being supremely robust. Usually between the 6th and 7th levels of the light body, you'll experience a descension of spirit. This means that a vaster part of you who are in the upper dimensions comes to reside in your body. Your higher self, your essence self, right? Your astral twin and your etheric body. That shifts everything around you. The double Merkaba is now really starting to spin. It's actually 2 overlays of the Merkaba that when spinning perfectly aligned, then create a 3rd one, which is the full ship. Your interdimensional ship. This shifts everything around. You feel like you have come through a tunnel. You begin to get telepathic, clairvoyant communication, and these screens and the veils are coming down. and you're merging them all together. The entire planet and its population appears to be doing a strong reevaluation. Check. The polarization of energies is happening at more and more heightened levels. Planetary polarization, bifurcation, paradigm shifting in two different directions is becoming more and more intense. You find that those of you who are beginning to live like heaven on earth, right? The miracle within, the miracle on earth, will exist side by side with those experiencing the distorted part of earth. This is the place where a lot of people must get with the program or bail out. So that could be a stopping point for some people. If you're like, I'm going to work on my light body in this lifetime, and you stop at the 6th level, 5th level, that's okay. You're going to keep coming back again and again and again over many lifetimes to sort this out. 7th level of the light body, getting extra dimensional, right? All right, these are Andromedan energies coming through. And the Arcturian Light Council, High Council. In the 7th level of the light body, you begin to enter the emotional stages of light body, focusing on deeper and deeper openings of the level in the heart chakra. Everything at some point will pass through the heart consciousness. Christed consciousness, the emerald heart, the rose within. As you open your heart, a feeling of connection with the planet opens up. That feeling of falling in love with the planet must hug that tree. You put your hand on that tree, you listen through your heart, and you will receive messages. Just because you don't always pick them up in the ways you're normally accustomed to, they're being delivered. You can speak to plants, animals, elementals. At this point, if you have blocks in your emotional body, they will begin to come up, because as you move towards expressing your divinity and your vastness, anything that blocks begins to be released. You're seeing the blockages, and you're already ready to go in there and turn the key, and we're going to open them up. Hey, what's behind that door? What's sitting inside that box? You've been buried for millennia. Let's check it out. You may have become more emotional. The emotional body lives in the past, and your mental body lives in the future. At the 7th level, you begin to live in the now. That is the quantum field, right? Living in the now. Past, present, future, any word you ever pick for it, they're all in the now, simultaneous. And it is such a mind wrap to get your head around that one, but that's just how things work. Everything exists now. So if you can heal all lifetimes now, then they're already happening all the time anyways. They never really don't cease to exist. Heart chakra opens to a much deeper functioning than ever before. You experience, like I said, those openings, those zaps in your heart. It does not feel the same as a heart attack, just like I was saying, for it is in the center of your body. It's an opening of the heart chakra gateway. In a meditative state, though, you can go interdimensional, right through the heart chakra. This is your highest version of your astral plane, and your heart can beam out energies 40,000 at least times more than your mind. Like, that'll reach the galactic core in no time. The heart chakra has a membrane called the Gate of Eden. It is now opening to allow you to go interdimensionally. You can travel to any dimension through the heart chakra. Any dimension. You can go anywhere. If the heart chakra takes predominance and mutation changes from cone to spherical to radiate out, so not cone anymore, you go spherical. In all directions, the chakra system merges in what is called the unified chakra system. And if you pass everything through the heart and unify all of your chakras, that's when you can go interdimensionally, because you've earned the right to responsively, actively go there. This assists the emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies to begin to merge. In the 7th level, those chakras are kicking into merged states that have not been experienced before. This is fresh, new, and exciting. Fantastical things are happening. The chakra unification is important for your growth because it allows you to handle any amount of energy, no matter how vast, through the physical form without any damage. Right? How cool is that? Because up until the quickening in 87, you had to do an incredible amount of work for a very long time. It hasn't even really occurred since Atlantis and Lemuria. Because your nervous system would get fried if you just kind of like came off the streets. Okay, here I go. And then some high-level initiate comes in and does some serious work on you. Your body can't handle it. It was a slow progression over thousands of years. If you tap into the bastard part of yourself and your chakras are not moving in a unified field, it may feel like you've put your finger into an electrical outlet. The pineal and pituitary glands begin to open, and you may feel pressure on your forehead or at the back of your head. That's your alta major, and up here, right? When the pituitary is functioning at a higher level, you will not age or die. Predominantly, we're here to live for about 900 years. Okay, the secret's out. 10 times more than we do now. That is how long the human body was internally designed to make. But through our own actions and our own lifestyles and our own agreements, we put different codes into our DNA, into our cells. Now that's changing. In the next couple thousand years, we are going in the direction of living 900 years long. What the heck, right? Wow. But we got to open up all of these glands and all of these secretions inside of us to start activating at their highest levels. The pineal can activate the fourth eye, the multidimensional site located where the soft spot is in the crown. It opens when it is time to open, each person at its own time, or at the seventh level of your light body. In the seventh level light body, most beings are operating fourth dimensionally in their consciousness. I would say yes, they're operating fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And you are developing knowing that all beings are masters, all beings, including the animals in your home, every single one of them. The insects that you don't want to go over there and touch, because I have my moments with certain types of nature too. They're all divine beings. Proclaiming their worthless, the next, proclaiming their worthlessness. I can do anything, right? You are becoming, it is the opposite of worthlessness. You are worthiness. You are bouncing between the feelings of multidimensional oneness and the feelings of separation held in your physicality. Those are the big stages of letting those go and releasing them. The 8th level of the light body. Okay, here we go. At the 8th level, the pituitary and pineal gland begin to grow. They're growing really big. To counter any pain, ask for the endorphins to be released. As you speak to your body, you will well receive the healing that you require. There is an invitation of what are called seed crystals. These are small crystals which receive light languages from the upper dimensions mixed with stardust. 2 of the crystals are located in your eyebrows directly over your pupils. The third is just below your hairline in line with your nose. Right? It's like a triangle. Dun, 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 dun. There is also an activation of the recorder-receiver crystals on the right side of your head, about 1.5 inches above the ear, right? In and around your ear, there's some crystals. It holds vast amounts of information that the soul has gathered over many incarnation cycles on various planets and stars. You, most likely, have not lived just on planet Earth. It's been many planets, many star systems, many different types of beings in all forms of dimensions, and you are infinite. Periodically, the recorder cell will download. When you hear people say download, that's just like insights and information. It just kind of finds you, and you just get like instant access to wisdom. It's a knowing, claircognizant, through your crown chakra. On experiential data into the receiver crystal, you may experience tingling, burning liquid sensation in the area where the receiver crystal is located, and suddenly you have all of this information and you do not know where it came from. Well, it came from the Akashic records of you and the universe. That is the internet that's everywhere. You go onto the internet to then have a method to look up information. Well, the Akashic Records is the internet that's always been there before our current internet creation, and you just ask for it and the downloads will come. It might come in through a book, an insight in your mind. The 8th, 9th, and 10th chakras activate, right? We've got a 12, 13 chakra main system going on here. Then there's the 5th dimensional one. There's a lot of chakras, more than that. 3 to 5 crystalline templates in the chakras realign, so your energy bodies change their usual motion of spirals into spirals of energy. The Milky Way galaxy, the universe, oh, there's a lot of spirals, and they're very important. You begin to hook up to the multidimensional mind and begin to receive what I call languages of light. So if you've ever heard A lot of beings on planet, they're coming online with these languages of light, and they're speaking galactic languages that sound very off-planetary, mixed with ancient knowledge and indigenous vibes. It is such a wild treat. I live with a being who speaks languages of light, and they do come online, and they are fantastic. Multi-galaxies can speak together, and from these light languages, then we formed all these other languages that we currently use, such as English, French, Spanish, etc. The pituitary and pineal function together when they are open, causing what is known as the Arc of Covenant. It is a rainbow light arc that covers the top of the head from the fourth eye to the third eye area. Arc lines, right? This is one of the decoding mechanisms for higher dimensional language. Your brain functioning begins to change, and you begin to perceive and think in terms of geometrics and tones. Sound, geometrics, and light. Before all of us were born, or were we always already here? The universe is made up with those functions. Those are the building blocks that make us exist. This is unsettling because you don't have a translation available. Some of us do. Not necessarily unsettling, but you're like, I'm going to try to make more sense of this. And maybe I'm going to find some other beings who we can jam off, right? It is common for you to fear that you have some problems remembering what you had, let's say for breakfast, or somebody asks you, what did you do on your days off? Well into my ascension process. Like I've been working on this since 2012, but well into my ascension process, I would have days where I'm like, oh my God, so much happened in the last 24 quantum hours. I don't really remember what I did on my days off. But sometimes you do. It's just not fixating on the fact that you need to remember. You're in the now. You're enjoying the now. I'd say in the longer spectrum, a lot of these memory banks will come back through and dance as you need them. You're just getting used to using your body. All of the pathways in your brain that you are accustomed to may become non-accessible while entirely new pathways are being created for the divine rainbow, the diamond and rainbow crystalline templates. It's plasma, right? The outer core of our atmosphere on Earth and its energy field is made of plasma. Plasma is multi-changeable and moldable, like a big piece of soft clay. You can mold it into anything you want. And plasma is the same way. And that's what we're going through in our bodies with the new quantum templates. You may be getting tones in your ears, bands of light, color, geometry. I get tones in my ears, lights flash all the time, lots of different messaging. Hieroglyphs and things that look like equations come to you. It is communication from spirit. This is encodement. This is what happens to the unified chakra technique. Ask for translations. Just ask and keep asking. Oh, but I asked for 2 weeks. I didn't get an answer. Keep asking. It's coming. There's a point just before you transition to the 9th level that the translation opens up and is accessible on a verbal level, hence the languages of light. 9th level of the light body. As the translation opens up, you begin to understand tonal languages, geometries, and patterns. Wow, that's a dodecahedron. How can we mix that together with its axial tonal grids? Right? Sounds like fun. You are in the 6th dimension, the realm of sacred geometry taking its form, the seed of life, the Metatron's cube. Your spirit is using these languages to shift the 6th dimensional structure of your blueprint to a new template for your 5th dimensional light body, right? 6th, boom, because it's the even numbers, manifest in the 5th. You're beginning to embody divinity. At this stage, you realize you have maybe another starseed home on another planet and you feel more connected to Sirius than you do to Earth. But they're both intertwined. The 7th dimensional threshold may activate, causing your back to shift and feeling the density in the pelvic floor be released. The 7th dimensional structures are shifting in alignment with your oversoul. New alpha and omega chakras are opening around the physical body, allowing for way more energy to pour in. You thought you go party, have some fun. Sometimes that's for some beings. Other people, they get high off of sitting in a field by themselves. But whatever you've done to alter your reality, when you get that much energy pouring in, you are high all the time, 24/7. All you have to do is center yourself Relax into it and feel it again. And then that high and that universal life force energy and those scalar waves and everything, morphogenetic fields, chi, ki, kai, comes into you. The fifth and sixth dimensional etheric structures are coordinated through the seventh dimensional alignment with your oversoul to receive a new Adam, Kataman, divine image. Ha ha! You may become aware that you have other body types than human. Woo! You may be taller, thinner, bigger, grow wings. We all, at some point, have had a tail and some wings in some fashion. You begin to integrate non-human entities into your human identity. Archangels, ascended masters, your spirit guides, master guides, your higher self, elementals, right? The Devic realms. You may be translating languages of light and are aware of yourself in other dimensions. You're aware of the crystalline structure that connects everything. We were carbon before we were becoming crystalline. When you crystalline something, it gets so integrated into itself that you cannot destroy that structure. And that is your true divine structure. You become way less concerned with how anybody thinks of you. And that is a huge line, and I stand by it completely. Be your authentic self, and it does not matter what anybody thinks of you. In fact, you have more people enjoy you the more authentic you are. You are expressing spirit now with every breath. Breath work is so important. Who cares what anyone thinks? They will wake up, they're doing this. Remember, this process is not optional. If you incarnate, you are mutating. This is a biomutation process. There's usually a mass descension at the beginning of the 9th level, which can be sometimes very difficult. These are advanced workings. You begin to finally surrender completely to spirit. No matter what's going on, just surrender. Let go, sink into the floor, and know it'll all be good. It will upgrade for you. You will discover that you do not control everything on a personal level. You are a divine instrument. You are having spirit in action. You always have, and you always will. Spirit designs everything. It is a dissolution of the ego self. It is the final passage through the gate of awakening. This can be the most ecstatic experience and at the same time can be the most painful. The 9th level is where surrender occurs. If you hold on tight, especially if you're going through a dark night of the soul and then you don't surrender, you will keep the wheels spinning in that area until you just, yes, everything's going to be okay. Just imagine the Divine Mother holding you, your little heart, inside. I've been there, and it's intense. In the 7th, 8th, and 9th levels, so you're kind of merging parts of the light body levels together, right? Because you work with them in sync. You can work with the 2nd with the 7th. But 7th, 8th, and 9th go well together. Some of you may feel surrounded by people who feel the what if syndrome. What if the pole shifts? What if something becomes a waterfront property because of the water levels going up? Your mind is just really out there. Just stay centered in your spirit and know exactly that your spirit will know exactly what to do in every moment. You will be divinely protected. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Everything's going to work out well. The weather does shift. New revelations of archonic connections, distorted ones, all these things that can possibly happen. The fact that we've populated Mars for a very long time and they're keeping it from us. Right? It'll all come in due time. At the 7th level, people feel like they're going to ascend tomorrow. Where we go? There's usually a mass descension. I'm just... so much information, guys. Okay. At your 9th and 10th level chakras open up further, you open up the 11th and 12th chakras. You hook up to the Christ oversoul and you begin to operate from the Christ level of your being here on your planet. We are all that powerful. Some of you have chosen to stay working at the Christ level, and that will be your path here. For others, you'll begin to hook up to the I Am presence. If you begin to operate from that level of Godhood, the Godhead, sometimes in the 10th, 11th, a level of the light body, it will be pretty hard to look human. Pretty hot stuff, right? At the ninth level, you are moving into states of becoming that which you have never been before, experiencing this, being in the state of your own truth, experiencing being in the state of unconditional love, light, and power. It is called the threefold flame, and it exists in the hearts of everyone. It is a flame that resonates at all dimensions. Most people are usually strong in at least one component of it. At the end of the ninth level, you begin to feel the ascension again, which is usually quite massive. You've gone through your ego surrender, and you're going through an alchemical transformation process at this point. Your old self, you barely recognize it. Your fields are now merged, and you are fully hooked into the Christed Oversoul at every level of your being. You're integrating it, you're using it on a daily basis, and it's showing in your actions. They're becoming divine. You have the hookups to your sacred I am presence. 10th level of the light body, 3 more to go. The 10th level, you begin to manifest your avatar abilities. And if anybody sat through this and made it to this point, I'm right on. Once I get going, I can just keep going for hours. It's pretty sweet. This is amazing stuff. I commend you for going through this video with me. In the 10th level, you begin to manifest avatar abilities. This means this is an avatar body. This is a biosuit. A portion of who I am, but a very small portion of who I am. It's an avatar. You come in, your soul, and it animates a body for a period of time. That means you can be exactly where you want to be and when you want. Teleportation, apportation, and manifestation comes at the level of the light body because you are fully conscious of being one with the source and being with everything. You feel connected to everything because you are the planetary consciousness. You hook up with the oversouls and those double tetrahedrons, star tetrahedrons, that's your double Merkaba, have exchanged sides, and you are now operating in a unified field. You got your light ship, you're ready to take off. The geometries begin to move in a double helix. In a karma game, you only have 2-strand DNA, but in a light body one, you have a 3-strand or more DNA, working to 12 in this lifetime, maxing out at 144 and beyond. So your body forms a 5th dimensional strand at the center. You begin to build what we call the Merkaba vehicle, your energy structures. Merkaba means chariot, your light chariot to take you forward. The Merkaba is a crystalline light structure that allows you to pass through space, time, and dimensions completely in your totality. The Merkaba has a consciousness of its own. It holds your colors and your tones so that when you leave the body, all of your spirit friends remember who you are and what you've been up to and the badges that you've earned. You may begin to work with it to travel to other source systems. One day to possibly become a sun, possibly become a living planet. Maybe you even get to build your own galaxy. You construct this crystalline structure out of your own fields with the assistance of spirit. There are 3 different axes within different structures. The angelic function, the space brotherhood or extraterrestrial, and the ascended master function. These fit together like puzzle pieces. They are always meant to unite themselves. At the time of ascension, the Space Brothers will hook together to become the Merkaba fields, and they are building their own fields, each one operating separately with their own tasks, but they're all one ship. Link around the planet, forming a planetary light body, literally building a vehicle for this planet to ascend. So all our individual Merkabas working to the planet to create one big one for Earth. Yes! Planet Earth will be taken from the 3rd dimension, and the 3rd dimension will be collapsed in on itself. It will still exist. It will still be there, but it's going to be an entirely new looking device. The Ascended Masters will act as the directors and the navigators. Best to ask them for some advice. I mean, they've been there and they've done it. Also, we are them. Right? Saint Germain. Joel Cool, all that stuff. Ha! Hilarion. Who knows who was what? Only you know inside of your oversoul. Light body, essence self. Many of the angelics will go into light body, but others will return to pure energy form as incarnate angelics, or archangels as well. Their energy is the fuel for this process because they can talk to all of us at the same time, as many as we need to. It's a simulcast. At the 10th level, you begin to work consciously according to your axis, your new foundation. All of you have the DNA encodements to do all of these functions. It's just a matter of which part of the process your spirit wishes to play with at this time. The 11th level of the light body. Are we going to be done this soon? Yeah, I'm going to miss continuing this on. This is a great review for myself. I'm learning so much. This is where you decide. So we're at the 11th level of the light body. This is where you decide to stay in light body and ascend with the planet, whether you will ascend ahead of the planet or whether you will go into pure energy form. The axial tonal lines are part of your embodied light structure, but they also connect you with other star systems and universes. They all overlap, intertwining. These lines of light lie along physical acupuncture meridians, galactic acupuncture meridians, and connect your physical body through something we call spin points, which in acupuncture happens on a micro level. Which when you put that pin in, you are connecting yourself to other star systems. Your light body, that's your star seed connection. Your light body structure is made up of many lines of light intersecting in beautiful geometries. We are beautiful creations. In the course of your mutation, a whole new fifth dimensional circulatory system was built. Cellular regeneration was accomplished through axial tonal spin points, and you were restructured at the molecular level. Sounds rad, right? You are doing your own genetic experiments on yourself. Isn't that rad? All in conjunction with spirit, designed before you came here. You may have noticed that time has sped right up, and the faster it speeds, apparently the longer we live. It speeds up to the point where it becomes simultaneous, so you will find yourself kicking in and out of feeling that you are everywhere at once and that you are simultaneously in them at the same time. By the quantum time most of the people on this planet are in the 11th level, this planet will no longer be in linear time. So that's when the majority of the humans on Earth have reached this stage. It will be a simulcast. You are getting to have lots of fun because that's when you will see that past lives are a cosmic joke. You have all lives and they have all resonances and they're all happening in the now and they're very important, but it's good to keep cosmic laughter through this all, right? I love the Don Juan Carlos Castaneda books. There is massive amounts of cosmic laughter. Every time you choose light in any one of the parallel realities, it affects every single life you have ever had. That is how powerful it is. One person choosing light in one lifetime affects the whole planet across all parallels. There are over 8 million light workers incarnated in this parallel alone. That's their digit they're giving. I know that the starseed 144,000 came down and it multiplied from there. At the rate we're going, there's got to be at least that many of us. Maybe more. I mean, who really knows? But that saying, I'm open to all digits and information. How much effect do you think you have? Just what do you think you can do? Anything you want as long as you follow and align with spirit. You're opening fully from your God self and there is no more separation. You are manifesting the vision of heaven and earth and you are expressing the ecstasy of your spirit. The 12th level of the light body. Here we go. At the 12th level, you act on your decisions about what you do. That may be hooking up with other people. There may be structures that have you for all of your relationships. Boom, I see it, let's do it. There are many structures that have come into place for this planet's final ascension, different councils, and new governments, right? Your own self-governing abilities and all of our structures at this stage, all of our civilization, and is being completely rewritten as we speak, and all of the toxicity is being kicked out. Every time you make a choice that is not in the will of your spirit's choice will always occur. But a parallel reality is spun off to hold the other choice. I mean, you're barely in physical reality at this point, right? This is Lyran energy going on here. But as you awaken and follow spirit, all of those parallels pull back together, right? You are now living in constant merging of these parallels. So there is a point when all of those parallels have merged and there is only the path of Prime Creator, which is you, from the moment of its creation. There's no more karma game except in the records. Pretty exciting stuff, right? Well, we may create some new stuff, but the story is going to be so much more juicy. Well, it's actually pretty juicy. It's going to be less distorted. This is how you ascend a planet. You reweaved it. Each of these now points is the fabric of what you would call space and time. From our perspective, we see lines of force that come down from each now point across all parallels like grappling hooks. The dimension gets pulled across time. So as you shift from the 11th to the 12th dimensional body of your light body, this is the final activation of the divine plan for Earth. Advanced templates, knowledge, wisdom coming to you. This planet goes to light, shifts out of this dimension, and is brought into the multi-star system. Our sun, our planets, it's all evolving with us. This is all makes up our own personal solar system. Everyone is in light body and follows their spirit in total sovereignty and total mastery. You have individual for all of these levels and then collective. The whole way back is the expression of the return journey, just like Orasoma. It's so beautiful. At every level of your identity and every level of your being as you return and experience your source. Bah! The 12 levels of your light body. That was an epic tale. That was amazing to go through that experience with you all. Had so much fun. What a journey. So, look forward to you watching this video. I hope you had a good time joining in, and may some of this divine wisdom help you along your amazing ascension path. And I look forward to chatting with all of you again soon. This, today, was a wild, cosmic, multidimensional trip. Take care out there.